Hey, how's it going, everyone? Just back again with another lesson. I think I'm going to call this the elephant in the room. So I'm going to do a series called the elephant in the room, just because there's just an elephant in the room, and then there's so many of them. But I'll do one because I was just watching another of the many videos related to that, and then I mirror a few and all that. And so I want people to understand, it just will save people typing, stuff coming by my channel. Most people don't have any subs or teach anything. I have people come by my channel telling me that Call for an Uprising is a shill, and then I go to their channel and they have nothing posted. Okay, so like they're calling out somebody else as like a shill or a government, whatever, but they don't even teach anything. Okay, like at least Call for an Uprising, I give him credit because he brings out a lot of truth, and all that kind of stuff. So the only people that have all of the truth are the elect. And so that's, everybody else except the elect would be in line with the government, at least slightly in some way, or be partial truthers and all that kind of stuff. So, it doesn't mean that they're all like bad or evil or anything like that. But those are the only people that are not shills, okay, are the elect, because they're the ones that are not deceived. And so I just find it funny, okay? So this will prevent people who come by my channel who also are retarded. And then they're like, oh no, like this whole thing is so evil and all that kind of stuff. Okay, this narrative is exactly what's going on in the corporate world. It's no different at all. Okay, a majority of the people again on YouTube and all that stuff are like just retarded or work for the government, in some way, directly or indirectly. And so this whole narrative is an expression of the beast system. Okay, and the beast system was not formed a couple of years ago. Okay, newsflash. Okay, so all the corporations on the day-to-day level prior to this entire narrative were running the exact same way as this narrative. Okay, you go to work, again, if you're lucky enough to like have a job, but let's say during the time that I was in the corporate world, you go there, you have no idea what's going to happen. You could be fired that day, you could have no security, and then all that kind of stuff. You just basically sit and wait until somebody tells you like the next thing you're supposed to do. And then one tactic that the government or that the corporations actually use if they don't want you there is like they'll give you nothing to do. And then so you just basically wait until you're bored and then that kind of thing. And so they basically like kind of bore you to death. And so that's essentially what's happening now. People are literally waiting, people who run businesses and all that kind of stuff, like what's the next thing they're going to come up with? Like, can they open? Can they not? Do they need this? Do they need that? And do they need, another one of those and all that kind of stuff? So it's just chaos. Okay, it's just disorganized, and it's just a bunch of like stupid people and then evil people, and then the mix of those is really, really bad, and then that kind of thing. And so the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. Okay, and that didn't happen recently. Okay, that happened when it was written. Okay, in the very least, and that was a long time ago. Okay, so at least at that point, when the book of Job was written, and then for people to understand, it's from the beginning. That was the plan. This earth didn't become hell over the years. Okay, it always was. And so, just know that's why, again, this pretty much has to be whether the Bible's true or not in the times that we live in now, because, the evil is so obvious, and that kind of thing. And so, and it's basically like kind of permeated. It's come out even out of the, the corporations, and then it's just out in the open, for everybody to be affected by it, whether they, work for, the corporation or not, kind of thing. So it's literally expanded its entire reach, across the entire earth simultaneously. Even if there were a few companies here and there that didn't operate, in that way, it's now covered them, and all that kind of stuff. And literally anybody who's trying to buy or sell. And then we see that in France and other places, where they're requiring it. So it's exact same, okay? It's just people who don't know what they're doing. They tell you and wait for you to like, you have to wait for them to like give you the next directive, and it's evil. And then that's your life, and you don't know the next day or the next day and all that kind of stuff. And then, so this thing that's like going around, out into the air is modeling exactly the uncertainty that's in everybody's corporate life. Okay. So this whole system is completely unstable, and so just know that. And so then people have the gall to come here and tell me, put a smile on your face. Okay, and I want people to know these people are degenerates and absolutely retarded, and they're just demons and all that kind of stuff. And then the Bible says that, surely oppression will make a wise man mad. And so, with the amount of oppression that people have had throughout their life, being lied to about their physical surroundings and their spiritual surroundings, and then all the other stuff that's going on, a person should be absurdly mad. Okay, and I want people to understand, the elect are the ones who will be aware of this and be the quote most mad. Okay, and they'll be the most on edge. Everybody else will be like, yeah, whatever, I can kind of deal with it for a little while, all that kind of stuff. So, and it's that righteous group that dictates the end time. So they're going to be at least as mad as somebody like me. Okay, so just know that, and I'm not the only person. There's lots of people who are, just fed up with this place. So just know that. So this again is it's for those like few trolls that come by here and like think that this is going to get corrected. And then the people that are trying to correct it, you go to their channel and they have absolutely nothing. They certainly don't have a plan. They can barely form sentences when they come by my channel. And they want us to think that on their back, we're going to fix this. Okay. When all this whole entire thing is just an expression, a manifestation of the corporations, the culture inside, and then the actual companies themselves, which they're all useless. Okay. Like a majority of them, except for maybe like the food ones and then the ones who do like surgeries and stuff. But a majority of all the other ones are completely useless. Okay. We don't need oil and gas per se, okay, to like live, because people have lived without it on this earth. And so, we don't need a highway even to live, because people have lived without them. Okay. We don't need a car and all that kind of stuff. And so we don't need the internet and all that. So that's why it's very, very clear that we're in the last days, because the Most High is using his money through fractional reserve banking, which all of this is his, and then he's spending it like quickly. And now it's on this. Okay. He's just like running it, just print the money. Okay. Just get it out and, and do that and get this thing out, as quickly as possible before this whole thing just can't work according to the way the Bible has predicted. And so this is amazing. This is literally the last of the last days. And then I just find it incredible that stupid people come by here and think that, oh no, everything else was okay, back to normal prior to this. Are you kidding me? Okay, you people are absolutely stupid if you think that this system can just be like gone back to quote normal prior to this, as if everything was normal. Okay, prior to this was the same as that. Okay, if you people haven't figured it out yet. And then so it again just proves that YouTube is just swirling around with like a bunch of retards and government trolls and all that kind of stuff. Bots, they're not real people. And who cares at this point? Like, for people who are into the Bible and Bible literalists, this is a golden age for you, and for me, people who are like that, just, there's no better time, because it's literally handed to us on a plate, how obvious it is, that the Bible's true. And then we're living in the last of it, that's written. And it's amazing. So this is just a form of encouragement for people to, just hang on, because there's no way this is going on for much longer, because the evil is just so flamboyant, and then it's very, very clear that there's no going back, there's no way, because even prior to this, people hated the corporate world. It was just stupid. And now it's becoming very, very clear that it's just, it's completely evil. And then people even in like, hospitals and all that kind of stuff, like they're just running around, there's just pretend to be busy. That's the way it is in the corporate world too. You have to like act like you're busy and all that kind of stuff. And then we see that with all these like TikTok nurses and all that kind of stuff. Like they're all liars, and actors, and exaggerating something that may be real, on some scale, physical, but exaggerating. Oh, I'm exhausted and all that kind of stuff. And like, who cares? Okay. And then, then I was also watching like a video of like an investment banking CEO saying, oh no, people, like you guys have to work like, 100 hours a week. And like, oh no, we want you to learn, everything you need to in 2 or 3 years. It's like filling in a bunch of spreadsheets. Okay. Like people making it seem like it's some big deal, that they're learning, investment banking or wealth management. You have to work 100 hours a week. People are just slaves. Okay. They're just retards and all that kind of stuff. So if you're a moron and want to take this and then go back and continue to be a slave for something, that system that's already completely unstable and completely sinful, good luck to you. Okay, you deserve what's coming to you. Okay, you're completely retarded and incredibly not fit for the kingdom. Okay, so you better hope that the Bible's not true, and then if it isn't true, then good luck. There's no hard feelings or whatever. Like, I'm not going to go back into the system, and then the few people that come by here, we're not. So we're not going to complain if the Bible doesn't come true. and you get to keep doing whatever you're doing, no worries. Okay, no hard feelings. Okay, I wouldn't go back into the system even if the Bible didn't say anything about this being a narrative for the end or anything like that, because the whole system is completely stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous that you have to base your day on the advice of somebody who's evil and stupid. Okay. It's one thing if they were just evil, you could sort of deal with that, but they're evil and stupid. Okay. For me, that's the hardest part actually. Cause like evil, you can sort of like, I don't know, kind of avoid, or just, if you really enjoy the work, you can, make them profit. And it's not always the worst deal, but if they're stupid, then I just can't play dumb. Okay. I'm going to tell that person they're stupid, and I just don't want any part of it. And so, but, obviously for people with with the Bible, you can't obey somebody who's evil either. So once the Bible's in play, this to me is completely absurd. Okay. But without the Bible in play, for me personally, it's harder. Prior to like the flat earth, when I was in the corporate world, not knowing that there is a God, and then the God of the Bible, very, very likely, I found it harder to be around people who were stupid. Not just like evil people was also not fun, but not as bad, because you can sort of learn the way they operate, and then you might learn something from them, so you sort of get something out of it. But that's a bad combination, and I think it's very, very clear to everybody on earth that the earth is run by stupid people because they don't have any idea how to manage this whole situation, and then by evil people because they obviously don't care about anybody's immune system. If anybody believes that, they're completely retarded. And then I just mirrored a video about Francis Collins, so the 501c3 church, and he's like one of the poster boys, like, oh wow, we got Francis Collins on our team and all that kind of stuff. So he's like the nicer one of all those retards, like Ravi and all that kind of stuff, Ravi Zacharias. So they're on board and all that kind of stuff. And then the Hebrews, they don't really want to talk about it. Like, they got better things to talk about. I was watching Deacon Sakari's hangout, just gibberish, just a bunch of nonsense. I mean, all this stuff's going on in the world. They're like, yeah, let's talk about, things in the Old Testament. They entertained a guy who wanted to talk about how Christ is not going to return, but the Most High is going to return. And then they spent 30 minutes with that guy with all the stuff going on in the world. And so it's just complete gibberish, and this to me, again, is the earth is prime. It's absolutely primed for Christ's second coming. It's absolutely amazing. And so for people, keep an eye out with basically the moon. I've seen a lot of stuff where like the moon is appearing red even because of the atmospheric conditions. And then we had this strawberry moon, and all that, and the blood moon, and then we have this meteor shower. Okay. And the cool thing about the meteor shower too, I think it was between 7:17 and 8:24. That's the range of this Perseids meteor shower. And so 7:17, if you add that together, is 24. Okay, 24, 44, God's elect. And then it runs up until August 24th. Okay, again, has 24 in it, 44. So we had, the last strawberry moon occurring at, 666, June 24th at 2:40. Okay, and then this meteor shower is happening now. And so, just if you read Matthew 24, that Christ says, that prior to his return, there's going to be those things happening, the sun darken, and the moon will not give its light. And then, the stars, will fall from the sky, which could actually talk about the salvation day moment, but it could also refer to this meteor shower. And it could also refer to these UFO sightings, all of those things. But keep an eye out, especially I would say after this maybe shower is done, after August 24th, then, it looks like, again, if Christ is going to return, then all these things are aligning, for that. And then also keep an eye out for this video that I mirrored with this monkeypox case, because for people with weak immune systems, that disease or whatever can like cause all these sores, and they look disgusting, to the point where the video that I grabbed of it, I can't look at that kind of stuff because it grosses me out. So I took the one that was like the least disgusting, but I don't even like looking at that stuff, much less like having it for somebody on their body. And the Bible says that God's left-hand side is going to have noisome and grievous sores. Okay. For people who took this and who are worshiping the beast. And so, wow, what a coincidence. Okay. We have a case here in America of somebody in Dallas who's gotten this. Okay. And then it's one of these kind that just magically, attract other people, for lack of a better phrase. So it could be the fulfillment of Revelation 16:2. And so, everything's being set up, queued up. And so the only thing missing prior to those sores happening is that Christ has to appear, and take away his elect, because they will not be there for the wrath of God, which is Revelation 16. And so, everything's queued up, the stars are aligning, so to speak. And it looks like, we're living in the end of it. So, there's no going back. You're not going back to the corporate world and like all that kind of stuff. So any of you retards that come by here trying to like say, oh, everything was okay prior to, if you think that what was normal according to the mainstream news was normal, you're definitely a Satanist. And if you enjoyed that, then you're absolutely not on God's right hand side. And so I know a majority of people that come by my channel are not, without a doubt, are on God's left hand side. But for the few, don't worry, it's okay. Like, you don't have to take my timeline, because my timeline is financial, and there's nothing I can do about it. And actually I wouldn't change it at all, really. I wouldn't want it to be shorter or longer, really. So it's perfect for me. So everything you have to sort of tailor to what, you believe God is working with you to plan out your life and all that kind of stuff. But we're not talking about like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years or anything like that. Okay, if you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have all these plans, I'm gonna travel see every country or every continent or something like that, and you genuinely think that you're gonna do that, then I would say for sure you're on God's left hand side, because you have no idea what's going on and all that kind of stuff, and the urgency with which we don't want to be here, and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't want to be here prior to this narrative, because like I said, this whole point of this whole lesson is that the system didn't change, okay, overnight just because of this, okay? The system produced that. All it's doing now is it's coordinated and it's worldwide. And then they've activated all their switches at the same time. There's no difference. It's not like that didn't exist prior. It was the same people, okay, and all that kind of stuff. They didn't all of a sudden become more evil, in the last 2 years. So hopefully, you retards that come by my channel and act dumb, which you're doing, I give you credit for acting stupid. It's incredibly compelling, performance. But, aside from those dummies, just know that this narrative is a result of an already very, very active beast system. And the beast system consists of, the corporations, all the governments, and the central banks. Okay. And so this is it. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.